All right, Honors Algebra 2 and Algebra 2. Welcome to Chapter 8 test review video. Video number 2. It's probably going to be 3 or 4 videos, honestly. Here is number 16. So you'll know when it's done. The last question here is in the 40s. So definitely don't submit anything after this video number 2. You are going to have 44 questions total. So that after you're done with that, that's when you submit it to me. That is the final grade here in April. All right, 16 through 23, write this down, multiply or divide, and simplify your answer. Here's number 16, x minus 5 over x squared minus 25 times 2 times x plus 5 over 3. What you're going to need to do is you need to factor this x squared minus 25. That's going to be x plus 5x minus 5. And now we're going to multiply that by that second fraction. It's time to cancel. The x plus 5s will cancel. Notice how the x minus 5s will also cancel. That leaves you with 2 over 3, and that is your final answer there. All right, number 17. You have 5x to the 4th divided by x squared minus 9, that you need to factor that, times x squared plus 7x plus 12, you need to factor that, over x squared. Factor this to be x plus 3x minus 3. Factor this to be x plus 4x plus 3. Cancel out the x plus 3's. Then look at x to the 4th over x squared. The top has the higher power, and it has, like we said in class, 2 more x's there. So up top, you're left with 5x squared times x plus 4 over x minus 3 would be your final answer. Number 18, please write this. X squared minus 5x over x squared minus 25. You have to factor both, times a fraction, that is x plus 5 over 3. That does not need to be factored. In this first numerator, factor out the x they have in common. And in the first denominator, it's the difference of 2 perfect squares, x plus 5, x minus 5. Here's what we got. X minus 5s will cancel. X plus 5s will cancel, leaving you with x over 3. Number 19, it should be, put that in a little rectangle there to show you that is the question. Your first one with division, you have 8x to the 3rd divided by 21y to the 7th divided by 4x to the 5th over 3y to the 12th. Instead of dividing by that fraction, you're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So you're going to multiply by 3y to the 12th over 4x to the 5th. Now you can cancel things out however you want. What I did is I just, for my sake here, save some space. I just multiply the numerator together, so that'd be 24x to the 3rd, y to the 12th, over the denominator would now be 84. That's 21 times 4. X to the 5th, y to the 7th. What has more x's, the top or the bottom? The bottom does. The bottom has 2 more x's. What has more y's, the top or the bottom? The bottom does. The bottom has 5 more y's. You can divide both the numerator and denominator by 12, leaving you with the 2 up top, 7 down below. Y to the 5th is north, x squared is south. On number 20, here is your initial question. 5x minus 10 over 6x plus 24 divided by, ding, 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 x minus 2 over 7x plus 28. You're going to multiply by the reciprocal instead. So you're going to multiply by 7x plus 28 over x minus 3. Or x minus 2, you'll need to factor first numerator, first denominator, and the second numerator. Factor out the 5 they have in common. Factor out the 6 they have in common. Factor out the 7 they have in common. Nice little order there, leaving you with this. X plus 4 over x plus 4 cancels. X minus 2 over x minus 2 cancels. 5 times 7 is 35. 6 is your denominator. All right, and we shall do this next page here through 25, and that'll be your second video. 21 here is 3x plus 6 over 10x divided by, again, 6x plus 12 over 7x. Instead of dividing, you're going to multiply by reciprocal. You're going to multiply by 7x over 6x plus 12. You can factor this. You can factor that. 3 times x plus 2 over 10x times 7x over 6 times x plus 2. X plus 2s are going to cancel. The x's are going to cancel. You're going to be left with 3 times 7 over 6 times, or 10 times 6. That's 21 over 60. Divide top and bottom by 3. That is 7 over 20. 22, we're back to multiplication. You can factor this first numerator. You can factor the second denominator. What multiplies 15 adds to 8. X plus 5, x plus 3. What multiplies to 20 adds to 9. X plus 5, x plus 4. Here we go. The x plus 5s would cancel. Look at the 9x to the third over 4x. The top has 2 more x's. So in the numerator, you're left with 9x times x plus 3. I'm sorry, 9x squared times x plus 3. And the denominator, you can maybe see a little boo-boo I made. Yes, you have the x plus 4, but you also have the 4 that did not cancel out. Here's 23. X squared minus 1, which you can factor. That's x plus 1, x minus 1. Over 4x to the third times 5x to the third over 2 times x minus 1. Here's how it factors. X plus 1's cancel. The x to the thirds cancel. Up top, you're left with 5 times that x minus 1. Down below, you're left with 4 times 2, which is 8. We're going to end here with 24 and 25. But on 24 through 29, please write that down. You're going to simplify fully. To add or subtract two fractions, you have need the same denominator, and you have that exactly here. So your denominator is going to be 9. Your numerator is 5x squared plus 3x squared. Well, that's 8x squared. That one could not be easier. And the last question for video number 2, 7x over 10 minus x over 10. You have a common denominator of 10. 7x minus x is 6x. You can divide numerator and denominator by 2. 3x over 5. Video number 3 and video number 4 will be coming to you tomorrow. You will then have 2 weeks until you need to submit all of the Chapter 8 work. Could not be easier, folks. Go do it. Make it happen. This is Yak Math Videos signing out.